This morning, universities in the Philadelphia area are on high alert following threats of violence. Federal authorities, they say that the threats were made to an unspecified university near the city. Now, several schools, including the University of Pennsylvania and Temple, they sent out alerts because of this to their campus communities.
Officials at Drexel University say the threat was made on social media sometime after the campus shooting in Oregon. The Philadelphia schools are open today, but students are being told to report anything that looks suspicious. A terrifying account now of the Oregon college massacre. Tracy Hugh is alive because she played dead.
The mother, she's a mother of 3, and she was shot in the hand. She spoke exclusively to CNN about the horrific ordeal, and she said the gunman, when all of this was happening, he was calm. He even seemed happy, if you can believe it. He showed no mercy, even for a woman confined to a wheelchair. Here is some of Tracy Hughes' account of what happened in that classroom.
I was sitting in the front of the classroom, facing the teacher when everything happened. He just came in and shot towards the back of the wall and told everybody to get in the center of the room.
So did he hit anyone? Did he hit anyone when he first shot that first shot?
He just got everybody's attention, and then everybody looked over there to the door, and he had guns with him, and he was armed. He had a bulletproof vest on, and he didn't seem like he was anxious or anything. He just seemed like he wanted to do that, and he seemed happy about it. He didn't seem stressed. He didn't seem nervous. But when he came in, he told everybody to get on the ground. So everybody tried to huddle to the ground, and then the girl in the wheelchair she got off and tried to get down the ground.
Wait, there was a woman in a wheelchair during all this?
Yeah,
as well?
And she had a dog with her, but the dog was just on the ground. And she got off the chair. She went on the ground, and then he told her to get back on the chair, and then she tried to climb back on the chair, and then he shot her.
Unbelievable that she has even the composure to retell the story so soon after it happened. And in a very strange twist this morning, there are now calls for the sheriff in charge of the investigation into this Oregon shooting to resign immediately. The Brady Campaign to Prevent Gun Violence, a pro-gun control group, wants Sheriff John Hanlon replaced because of his past positions on gun regulation and for posting on Facebook a YouTube video pushing a conspiracy theory surrounding the shooting massacre in Newtown, Connecticut at Sandy Hook Elementary.
In a statement on its website, the Brady Group said citizens of Oregon voted for the expansion of Brady background checks in a law signed by Governor Brown this past May. In pledging not to enforce the new law, John Hanlon has clearly demonstrated that his political ideology trumps his responsibility to protect his community. CNN's Ryan Young joins us now from Roseburg, Oregon. Ryan, I think the families of the victims there don't want politics to be involved in the investigation in the mourning period right now, but clearly there's a lot surrounding this sheriff.
Yeah, clearly, and a lot of people have ideas of their own. They want to talk about this as it's fresh in everyone's mind. I can tell you, even here, we've seen chaplains walking around today. I want to point out there's a sheriff's department vehicle sitting just over my shoulder here where they're checking on everyone's ID as they go toward the school. Look, the Brady Campaign wants to prevent gun violence. They say they want the sheriff here, John Hanlon, to resign immediately. They believe the sheriff's statements and views about gun control and his unwillingness to enforce some of the laws here in the state are reasons why he should step down. But obviously, that's a conversation that a lot of people are kind of have mixed feelings about right now, especially in this community with so much pain going on right now.
Absolutely. And on the heels of that, when you talk about the pain in this community, you also had the opportunity to speak to the father of the gunman this weekend, and he had some surprising things to say about it all.
He did have some surprising things. We went to his house. We had a 25-minute conversation, five of which was an interview that we had. And I honestly tell you, he was quite open. He was quite candid just about his feelings. He did not want to talk about his son's mental health, but obviously you could understand the pain that he was going through. He talked about the other victims involved in this. In fact, that was one of the reasons why he wanted to talk. He said, look, he didn't know what he wanted to say to the families, but he wanted them to understand that he was really sorry for what had happened, and he understands that his son would be considered a monster from now on, and that he was very open just about his raw feelings on Saturday.
It has been, as I said before, devastating for me and my family, but we're not alone in this. My heart goes out to all the other families that were affected by this. And I know words will not bring your families back, and I know that nothing I can say can change what happened, but please believe me, my thoughts are with all of those families.
Oh, that probably makes it feel so much better.
Compile 13 guns. How can that happen? You know, they talk about gun laws, they talk about gun control. Every time something like this happens, they talk about it and nothing is done. I'm not trying to say that that's the blame for what happened, but if Chris had not been able to get a hold of 13 guns, it wouldn't have happened.
Did you know he had 13 guns?
I had no idea he had any guns. I had no idea that he had any guns whatsoever.
Of course he wouldn't know that
And I'm a great believer that you don't buy guns. Don't buy guns. You don't buy guns.
So even you want changes. You want the gun laws to change.
It has to change. It has to change.
Ask him if he has a cure for cancer in his pocket.
That believe in the right to bear arms. You know, what right do you have to take people's lives? That's what guns are, the killers. As simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's black and white. What do you want a gun for?
And how do you psychoanalyze this? I mean, in fact, we had that conversation. And you actually walk away sometimes with more questions. You feel for him, you understand his pain, but at the same time, everyone wants answers to how this happened. And of course, after that interview, you really are left with more questions. Of course, he said he hadn't seen his son since he left for Oregon. He said they had a good relationship, and he said there were no precursors that he thought would ever lead to this. But honestly, you have to wonder what else was going on in his life.
Indeed. Ryan Young for us in Oregon. Thanks so much, Ryan. You know, Hillary Clinton, just moments ago, she proposed some new gun laws, new gun legislation.
Oh, wow, so you have a cure?
Into as a candidate for president now.
Can you make it better, Sienna?
New poll numbers which spell